In this video, we will cover the test setup of the ALT8000 rad-out test set. Select the test setup function key. At the top of the page, you have 4 tabs: General, Loss, Storage, and Display. General and Loss tabs both have settings that must be set up prior to use. Under UUT settings, you have the UUT detect mode. That can be set to auto or manual. Typical operation will be auto. Manual can be used when troubleshooting. Auto will auto-detect the type of rad-out that you're testing. If you know the type of rad-out that you're testing, you could set it to manual and force it into that type, but that's not necessary. Auto-detect will work just fine. RF settings. For normal operation, leave it set to auto. The test set will determine the nominal value that the rad-out under test wants to see returned, and we'll set it up accordingly. If you're troubleshooting or doing sensitivity testing, you can set it to manual and have manual control of your power settings. Connection type will either be direct, coupler, or feeder. Direct indicates that you're direct connecting to the radio under test. Coupler indicates you're using couplers to cover the antennas. Feeder means you connect into the feeder lines with the antennas removed. In this case, I will use direct. Delay settings. AID mode. Fixed or variable. Fixed indicates that it's a standard AID cable length. Variable is a non-standard AID cable length. The fixed AID cable lengths, select, in this case, I'm using 22 10-foot cables for a total of 20 feet, so I'll select 20-foot AID. When testing a rad-out via direct connect, you're removing the path from the radio to the antennas, from the antennas to the ground, and back. So you will not be exactly at the altitude that you're simulating to start with. And you can use altitude offset to adjust the altitude so that it displays on the indicator in the aircraft exactly what you're simulating to the aircraft. And then you can do linearity tests from that point. The altitude offset does not have to be performed, but it helps with linearity testing. Delay calibration will be covered in a video of its own. Delay calibration is used to calibrate the delay of your cables that you're using to connect to the couplers or to the direct connect. Altitude indicator 0 works as the altitude offset does, but allows you to adjust it as the unit is functioning. The loss tab. This tab allows you to enter your cable losses, your coupler losses, and any external attenuation that you may have installed on the test set. This is all the setup that is needed for normal operation of the ALT8000 rad-out test set. You can now return to the simulation page and start your simulation.